Hello guys. Welcome again to Python programming for kids and teens. Hope you guys are learning and you're having fun. So this is the sixth video in this series, and we're gonna talk about something very easy today, but it is very important. So that's why I'm trying to kind of teach you guys, like something that you know already, but it's good for me to teach you. So we'll be going through our Python arithmetic operations, right? We've used some of these operations while doing variables and calculating some things, right? But it is good for me to kind of show you again, right? Because it is like you need to understand if the basics of mathematics, right, to be able to write code in general, right? So I'll show you guys addition, subtraction, you should know that, multiplication, division, then one that you might not know, which is the modulus, right? I'll teach you guys what it is and how to use it and what we use it for in programming. Then the power or exponent, like if you want to say something like 2 raised to power 2, yeah, this is the operation that you use, something like that. Then another one that you guys might not know is the Python logical operators, right? It's what we use in our program to make some decisions, right? So yeah, so we have logical and we have or and we have not, right? So if you have two variables and you want to say, oh yeah, so let's say you have two variables, a and b, right? So you want to know if a is less than b and a is equal to something, do something. If that's not it, do another thing, right? So we use and, or, and not to make logical decisions, in our code, right? So like for example, you might write code for like rocket and you say, oh yeah, if my rocket has gotten to like 100,000, like 100 kilometers, and the speed is 50 kilometer per hour, then do something. If not, you see, you can use that, and you can use or, and you can use not. I will show you guys, but that is what we're gonna talk about today. Hopefully it's going to be a short video, so let's start coding. So we're gonna start with the arithmetic operation. So just something for you guys to know. If you have all of this here down here in your terminal or your console or something, and you want to clear it, you can just type clear right here and everything will clear. That's something that you should know. Okay, so let's create a file for the arithmetic operator. So let me call it, we can call it anything again. Arithmetic.py, doesn't matter. Okay, so I'm gonna have a comment and say this code explains how to use arithmetic operators in Python. You can give it any comment that makes sense to you. Okay. So the first one we're going to talk about is the addition, which is very easy, right? So let me just have a comment and say addition, and we all know the symbol for addition is this, right? Yeah, easy. So let me just give you an example. So let's say I have a variable called value1, and the variable is 5, and I have a variable called value2, and the variable is 3, right? If I want to add them together, let's say I want to add them together and put them in variable called result, right? So I will say my result is equal to, of course, value1 plus value2, right? Easy. So that is the addition operator. So then when you print your results, we should get 8, right? Yeah, because that's how you add stuff. So when I run it, then I get my 8, right? That is good. So that's the first one. So then the second one, again, is easy. Is subtraction. Subtraction. And the symbol for subtraction, everyone should know this, right? It's something like this. There's a dash. Okay, let's have another example. Let's say I have my value 1, or you can use anything. Let's say A is equal to 5 and B is equal to 2, and we want to subtract it, right? So let's say we're going to have the result in our result variable, and then we'll say A minus B. Okay, then when we print that, we can print our result. Then our result is going to give us what? 5 minus 2, right? Because we say A minus B. It's going to give us 3. That's how to subtract. Okay, so what if we do B minus A instead of A minus B? Okay, I don't want to confuse you guys. That's advanced math. Well, I mean, yeah, not advanced, but yeah, you guys might not be able to understand that. But yeah, so that is subtraction. So then we'll do multiplication. And the symbol for multiplication is the asterisk, right? You see right there, asterisk. So I mean, like the one that you are used to is X, right? That, but in a computer is asterisk right there. So if I have A as 3, B as 2, and I say my result is equal to A multiplied by B, and I want to print my result, right? This should give me 3 times 2, right? And yeah, this might look easy, right? But just make sure that you know the symbol and you know what it does, right? Because at the end of this class, I will give you guys quiz, and the quiz is not going to be easy as this. The quiz is going to be like complex, right? So please make sure that you follow this and you understand it. Good. So after that, we have the division, of course. So division, and we all know, so division is forward slash, not backslash, okay? Forward slash, just like the way you write, okay, your division. So let's say A is equal to 4 and B is equal to 2. Then I say, let's just say C is equal to A divided by B. A divided by B. Then when we print C, we should have 2, right? Because 4 divided by 2 is 2, right? So let's try that. Let's save and we'll run it. Yeah, 2.0. Yeah, because when you do division, it converts. So like this is integer, this is integer, but when you do division, it will convert it to float. So like float is if you remember the data type that I taught you, data type, we have string, we have numbers, which are integers, then we have float, which are decimal numbers, right? So when you do division, it will convert it to decimal for you. Okay, so now the one that is going to be a little bit tricky, the modulus. Please, I want you guys to pay attention because we're going to use this a lot. So then the symbol for modulus is the percentage symbol, percentage, okay? So so you remember when we divide 4 by 2 here, so 2 was able to divide 4 perfectly. So 2 was our result and there's no remainder, right? So just imagine that we divide 4 no we divide this like 5 divided by 2. So that means it's gonna be 2 remainder 1, right? Because 2 will go in 5 in 2 places and we are going to have 1 remainder, right? So modulus is also doing division, but it is only giving you the result of the remainder, right? It's not giving you the result of the division, but giving you the result of the remainder. So now if you have 5 modulo 2, right? So it will divide 5 by 2 and give you the remainder. So, and this remainder should be 1, right? Because 2 will divide, will go in 2 places, and then you have, okay, let me try to do what you guys are familiar with. Okay, so let's say what, no, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is 5, and we want to divide it by 2. So this is the first one. We divide it by 2, that's another 2, then we have a remainder. So that means 5 modulo 2 is 1. Okay, so what if we do 5 modulo 3? Can you guess what the result is going to be? So we want to divide 5 by 3, but we want only the remainder. So we'll count 1, 2, 3, then 1, 2. So that means this one is not to 3, so that means the remainder is 2, right? So do you get it now? So modulus is also division, but it's only giving you remainder. Okay, so let's say we do 4 modulo 2. So what do you think the result will be? So that means we have 1, 2, 3, 4 divided by 2. So we divide this one 2, we divide this one 2. So nothing left. So that means 4 modulo 2 is 0. So if a number is able to divide another number perfectly, the modulo is 0. Okay, so we usually use this modulo to know, I'll still teach you guys to know if a number is even number or odd number, right? So if a number is even number, you divide it by 2, the remainder will be 0, right? If the number is odd number, you divide it by 2, you get some remainder, right? So but that's how modulo works. So like as I was saying, so let's say my A is 5 and my B is, let's say, 2. Then let's say C is equal to A modulo B. So what do you think the C will be? What is 5 modulo 2? It should be 1, because the remainder is 1. So let's see what this is going to be. See right there, it's 1. Okay, so let's say 5 modulo 3 should be 2. It's right there, 2. So let's say 8 modulo 2. You remember 2 is going to divide 8 perfectly. There shouldn't be any remainder, so the result should be 0. See? Good. So don't forget what modulus is for. All right. It's getting interesting. So another operator is the exponential. I didn't get that right. Okay, or we call it power. So this is what that you use for if you want to say 2 raised to power 2. What was 2 raised to power 2? Is 2 times 2, right? 3 raised to power 2, 3 times 3, right? So the symbol for that is double asterisk, right? Double asterisk. So now if I say my A is equal to 4 and my B is equal to 2, and I'd say C is equal to A raised to power B. So that means I'm saying 4 raised to power 2, right? So what's 4 raised to power 2? 4 raised to power 2 is 4 times 4. And that should be 16, right? So let's print this. Let me save it. See? It's very easy, right? So that's exponential. So you might have some mathematical equation, right, that will require you to, so for example, so if you want to calculate the area of a rectangle, I don't know if you guys know. Let's say triangle. No, that's half distance. That's, yeah. Let me see. Area of a square. So area of a square is L square, right? Yeah, L raised to power 2, right? So the area of so we can say L times L anyways. But yeah, so if you want to calculate the area of a square, so you could just say L raised to power 2, right? Yeah, I can't think of any equation that has power that you guys will be familiar with. Okay, yeah. Area of a circle. You remember is pi r square. There's no way to write pi r square on this, but yeah, it's pi r square, right? Pi then r square. So if you want to write it in mathematically, you can do pi multiplied by r multiplied by r, or you could say pi multiplied by r raised to power 2. See, that's how you use the power. Okay, so I think so that's all for the arithmetic operation. Okay, so now, yeah, so like this might look very simple, but please make sure that you understand it, especially the new ones that I just showed you guys, which are the power and the modulus. We're going to use it a lot in our code. Okay, so now let's do logical expression. This logical expression, again, it might be kind of not clear and complex, but just follow through. When we will use it to write complex code, you will understand better. Okay, so let's write another file called logical. Okay, so we'll say this code is to show examples of how to use Python logical operators. Okay, so the first logical operation that we have is AND. Okay, so this AND is just to make decisions, right? In your code, like just like if you are talking to your friend and like you are saying I don't even know. Yeah, let me think of an example. Okay, so let's say you are talking to your friend on Snapchat or any chat app, right? And you ask your friend, is your mommy at home? And you are ready to play video game, right? So number one, oh no, wait, is your mommy not at home? and you are ready to play video games. So for him to say, for your friend to say yes, like the mom must not be at home and your friend must be ready to play video game, right? If the mom is not at home but your friend is not ready to play video game, you won't play video game, right? So you see, both of the examples, they must be true for your friend to be able to play video game with you, right? So the first expression, which is the mom not at home, so must be true. So that means like the mom must not be at home. Then the second one, are you ready to play video game? He must say yes. So if both are true, then that means you're ready to play video game. So that's the kind, like the same thing, that you see in programming, right? So I'll give you kind of example. Yeah, it might be complex, but just follow it and I think you understand. So let's say we have a variable and that variable is 12. A is 12, B is 26, and C is 4. Okay, so I will introduce something like the if statement. Yeah, so you might not understand it now, but I will teach you guys later what this if statement, like if statement and other statement that we have. So but just follow this one, right? I say if A is greater than, so this is greater than sign, right? Greater than B, and A is greater than C. Print A. Okay, so I say if A is greater than B, so A greater than B and A greater than C. So you see, A greater than B, is that a true statement? A is 12, B is 26, so that means this is not a true statement, right? But what about A greater than C? A is 12, is greater than C, but we use and, so that means both of these must be true, but this one is not true, so that means it won't print A, right? Because this is not true. Okay, so let's look at another one. Another one is if B is greater than A and B is greater than C. Like this doesn't, like the space doesn't matter, but I like to put space. Then don't forget to put colon and enter. So print R. Okay, so let's see. What? It's getting my nerve. Okay, so B greater than A, so B is greater than A and B is greater than C, so that means this is going to print R, right? Because this statement is correct and this statement is correct, right? So let's assume that this is your friend. You're asking your friend, is your mom not at home? Your friend say, oh yes, my mom is not at home. That's true, right? Then are you ready to play video game? Your friend says, yeah, I'm ready to play video. So that means this is true. Then so let's run this code. See, so it ignored this one and did this one, which is this. Okay, so that is how the AND operation AND operator works. So now let's look at another one, which is OR, right? So imagine you ask your friend the same question and say, is your mom not home, or are you ready to play video game, right? So if the mom is at home but is ready to play video game, so that means you can play, because it is or. It is either of the statements true, right? So that's the difference. Again, let me use this as an example. know what? I don't want you guys to be lazy like I am, so don't copy and paste. Type it. If A is greater than B, or A is greater than C, print A. So what do you guys think? Do you think this code will print this A? Think about it for a second. So we'll say if A is greater than B, so which is not true, or A is greater than C, which is true. So that means we are saying if either of these is true. So if, yeah, so we don't need both to be true before we come here, right? So that means this one we can come here, right? Because it is, so this one will fail, but this one will pass, then we can come here again. Just follow with your head, right? Because we use this statement a lot, right? In our calculation, right? And so like just imagine that you are playing video game, maybe like Roblox, right? And you are fighting with someone in the video game, right? So the code behind your video game might be like this. So let's assume that you use armor, like you have armor in your hand and you use it to hit someone, right? Then the code might be like this. If user A use armor to hit user B, right? And life of user B is 0. That means user B should die, right? Something like that, right? So, but if user A hits user B and user B life is greater than 0, so that means just reduce user B life, but don't kill user B, right? So these are kind of the way that they write the program behind your video games, right? And even if you are running, you are trying to jump over an obstacle, right? It's the same code. They will say if user A is able to jump over obstacle, then user A can continue. But if you are not able to jump, then you die, then you go back, right? So that's how everything works. So like they use this kind of statement a lot, or and all of that, okay? So don't forget that. Let me see. Let me see if I can do this one. See, it's false. It's saying, is D equal to 10? That means it's not, right? If I set this to 5 and I run it, it's true, right? But again, please don't get confused, just follow through, right? What I'm trying to say, and you will get it later. Okay, so that is all that I have for you: the arithmetic operation, the logical operation, right? So now this is the quiz that I have for you. So this quiz, because arithmetic operation is kind of easy, so I want you to read this code and you tell me the answer to them, but do not write this code. Don't run it, right? Just look at it and tell me what the output will be. So for example, let me give you an example. I said, what would the output of this code be? A is 4, B is this, and I add them together and I say print C. So the output of this is going to, so like this, what I wanted to say, the output of this code will be 9, right? Because this is it. Okay, another example. A is 5, B is 4. I say if A is greater than B, print 1. If B is less than A, no. Okay, so if B is less than A, print 2. Okay, so look at this. B greater than A, B is not greater than A, so it won't print this. B less than A, then it will print 2. You see? That's an example for you. Okay, so now the real task that you have to do. So what will be the output of this code? So if A is 2, B is 4, what is C? B raised power, I shouldn't say that. So what is B, this operation A? What will be the result? Then this one, A is 5, B is 3, C is A modulo B. And now C, yeah, and then C is this of this, right? Then A is 12, B is 6, C is A divided by B. Then I say if C is greater than A, print 1. If C is less than A, print 2. So which one will it do? So look at this code without running it and tell me what the answer will be, right? Just try your best, okay? It might be complex, but just try your best. Please don't run the code, okay? Because if you run the code, you will to give you the result, but I trust you guys to be faithful not to run the code, right? Because when you want to go for some interview as a software engineer in the future, right, what they will do for you is they will write some code for you on the board, and they will tell you to look at the code and tell them what the answer will be, right? Because they want you to be able to read code, understand what the code is doing, and give them results, right? Because as a software engineer, when you work in the future, and you join a company, the company will have some code already, right? So, and they want someone that will be able to come to their company, read the code that they have already, understand their code, and then like add more to it, right? So that's what I'm trying to show you guys, that you need to read, be able to read code. Then the last one is I want you to write any Python code to do anything. Yeah, so this blank, like do anything, but make sure that your Python code is using at least 5 of the arithmetic operations, right? Plus, minus, multiplication, raised to power, modulo, division, right? Make sure that you are using at least 5. I'm not sure if I showed you guys up to 5, but yeah, make sure that you are using at least 5 arithmetic operation for that. Okay, so and I think that's all I have for you guys today. Again, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share the video, right? And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye for now.